Let's do a top 10 list this year.
Top 10 list of what?
Yes.
Yes.
Top 10 of 2018. But it's for two of us, so I guess it's top 20?
Top 20.
The top 10 part 2?
Top 10 of 2018.
Okay. Would you like to start us off?
Why don't you go first?
Because I'm curious to see what's on your list, seeing as how you made it in the last 10 minutes.
I did, but they were all very good. They're all very good.
Did you rank these in any numerical order?
Well...
No, you didn't.
You can say it's ranked. The last one is number 1 on my list.
So the first one you're going to give us is the best one?
No, the last one I give you is the best one.
Okay, well, what's the worst one of the 10?
I guess it's not really worst, but just the first thing that I have written down on my list of best of 2018 is best video game console of 2018, the Nintendo Switch.
The N-Gage. Wait, what?
Wow, that hasn't been relevant in...
A decade?
A decade?
Yeah.
You're 10 years too late.
Yeah.
10 years too late on that one.
Maybe you picked it up this year and you wanted to tell me about how good it was.
Hi guys, I'm the N-Gage. I just showed up on the oh shit, what is that thing? A Switch? Oh, fuck.
So it's a Switch instead.
It was a Nintendo Switch.
You've only enjoyed it for a couple of weeks, though.
Yes, but it's an amazing well, no, that's not entirely true, because my roommates have a Nintendo Switch. So
you've been playing theirs?
I've been playing theirs a lot. But yes, I enjoy the Nintendo Switch very much so.
What makes that so good that you wanted to put it on your top 10 list?
The Nintendo Switch eStore is basically best of Steam indie games.
Okay.
So it's just all really good games that are on the Switch store, with the exceptions of things like learn how to read palms. This game only costs $10, and you'll never use it.
Oh, for a moment there I thought maybe it wasn't garbage like Steam Store. You're not selling me exactly on this console so far.
The recycle bin. The recycle bin of the Steam store.
Yeah, come on.
No, there's a lot of really good games on the Switch, and I love the fact that I can just carry it around and play games on it, and it actually looks really good. And Breath of the Wild looks amazing.
But why can't I just get a Game Boy?
Because the Switch has more games for it.
No, Pokemon Pikachu Go is on the Switch, or you could just get Pokemon Red for the Game Boy. Or
Shut up! Look, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu is another one on my list.
You're gonna put the console and the Game & Squith on the list? Whatever, I did leave this list vague. I said do whatever, so maybe that's on me.
You should have been more specific, Mike.
Well, you want to just put that one as number 9? Get these two out of the way? Tell me what you love about the Switch.
No, you go to... What is you... Okay, I really enjoyed... Okay!
Yeah?
You weren't specific enough. I really enjoyed playing the Nintendo Switch. I didn't think I was gonna have to defend it in a court of law.
I'm just curious.
Objection, conjecture!
Just poking and prodding, trying to figure out why.
Because it's fun. I like playing it. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's probably the best console you can get.
Is it better than any other console you've ever owned?
Yes, I actually like it better. The only thing that I wish the Nintendo Switch had is Bloodborne. And that's never gonna happen.
Maybe it'll be better.
Now you made me sad. These are supposed to be things that made me happy in 2018.
And now for my number 10. I chose The Council. Have you even heard of this game?
I've heard of it. I have not played. I think you played it a bunch on the channel, didn't you?
Yes, but you don't watch the channel, so you wouldn't know what it's about.
I watch it sometimes when I'm in the videos.
Well, of course, when you're in the videos.
Because I'm a narcissist.
Yeah. Well, you know how I like the Telltale games, right?
Yeah.
You know how Telltale went under this year.
Yeah, because they made bad games.
Yeah, they made bad business decisions, and also their games were kind of stale. Yeah. They didn't really invent on the genre, and the game that I played called The Council did improve on the genre, made some changes, added some things. It looks pretty bad. The models look pretty horrifying.
Oh, that sucks.
And the voice acting is hit and miss. There's a lot of problems with it. There's the plot takes a huge nosedive around episode 4, it just becomes insane.
They pull an Indigo Prophecy towards the end of it.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda like that. And they introduced a really cool mind-reading mechanic, but they did it right at the end, so you never got to make use of it.
What? That's stupid.
But I do want to put that on my list, at least within the top 10, because I enjoyed it for what it was, and I thought it made a couple of really interesting design choices, and it wasn't horrible, and it had a lot of branching pathways. Speaking of which, the first time I played through that game, I got held up at gunpoint, and that didn't happen in my second playthrough. In my second playthrough, I got held up at knife point by somebody else.
Ooh.
And the first time I went through, I got laid twice. And the second time I went
Once
through...
was by the knife.
The second time I went through, she put a knife to my throat. Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
And in the first time I went through, I had to solve a murder mystery, which I failed to do. And the second time, no one got murdered.
Hooray!
Yeah, so
maybe
and instead I got put on trial for their murder because I couldn't find the body, and they assumed that I'd killed her and buried the body.
Ah, lovely.
So there were a lot of different ways I could have gone, a lot of different pathways, and you get to meet a couple people like Napoleon Bonaparte and President Washington.
Je suis Napoleon. Wait, President like George Washington?
Yes, George Washington.
Did he chop down the cherry tree and you accused him of doing it?
No, he asked me for help, and then I did try and help him, and then I got held up at gunpoint, and I knocked the person down from trying to shoot me.
You seem to get held up at gunpoint a lot.
Yeah, my mother had her arm chopped off, so I feel like I lucked out that I didn't have that happen to me.
Oh, yes, I think getting your arm chopped off is not something you really want in your DNA.
In your general life choices, no. I prefer to keep that, but...
I'm glad you like games like that, because I've never really been much for like the narrative style of games. If I'm gonna read a narrative, I want to just read it. I don't want the game to have to make me think.
I like it when the game does make you think, and I like how the game is different for every person, and I can watch somebody else play it, and it's like a whole new experience.
Tangentially related, I don't remember who it was, but there's a stand-up comedian talking about how much he loves video games, and how he's like, video games are better than books, because when you play a video game, it actually makes you pay attention to what's happening in the story. Mm-hmm. It'd be like if you were reading a book and then suddenly the book slams shut and it's like, what are the major themes that were discussed in chapter 1? You cannot open the book until you answer this question.
Yeah. And if you answer wrong, somebody dies.
Exactly.
But anyway, that was my number 10. What's your number 9? Is it the Pikachu game, or are you going to leave that for
Let's
later?
Go Pikachu!
Alright, sure.
Let's Go Pikachu has been way more fun than I expected because, to be completely honest, yes, pretty much every single Pokemon game that comes out is just recycled assets.
I can't believe they remade Pokemon Red for the 8th time.
Yes, they've remade it for like the millionth time, but I've had way too much fun playing it.
How? You've been playing since the OG.
Because it's, okay, so they did a lot of changes that I actually really like.
Did they? I thought they just changed the catching mechanics so you do the little flick the ball at them and that's pretty much it.
I do like that one, because that was one of the things that drove me crazy about the original Pokemon, is how much work you had to put in just to catch one. And then, because inevitably, I have all my Pokemon that are all way over leveled because I use them just to eliminate everybody in one shot. Mm-hmm. So now, it's like, I don't have to worry about, alright, I really want to catch this Abra. And I'm gonna hit it to do a little bit of damage to it, and it's dead. Well, alright, well now I have to find another one, and it's dead.
I can't believe you killed
Okay!
Normally they just teleport away the moment they see you. You actually had...
You know what I mean,
yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've really enjoyed playing it. I think it's been a lot of fun. I love having a little Pikachu that rides around on my shoulder, and is basically your insta-win button.
Is he?
Pretty much. He gets like if you have Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee, they get 2 attacks that I don't remember what they're called. One of the ones for Pikachu is called Zippy Zap. And it is pretty much an insta win. If you use Zippy Zap on something that is weak to electricity, or just even like some normal enemies, it will just one-shot them.
Where's the challenge in the game then?
I mean, you use your other Pokemon for stuff.
Why?
I hold Pikachu in reserve. Pikachu is my Tony the Leg Breaker, that if you don't pay your loans on time, I send Sushi, my Pikachu, out to go break your legs.
Is he your starter Pokemon?
Yeah, you start with Pikachu.
So, have you caught a Charmander, Squirtle, or
Yes,
Bulbasaur?
actually, that is one of the other things I like, is that Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur are all in the game, and you can just find them.
Oh, you can do that in Pokemon Yellow, too.
Oh, could you?
Yep.
I don't know. Whatever. I've enjoyed playing it. I've liked it. So sue me. It's fun. I like playing Let's Go Pikachu.
All right.
It's just got this sense of charm to it that I actually really enjoy, and I love basically just playing Pokemon Red over again.
I can't fault you for that. That was a good timeless game.
It's a lot of fun.
I'd say timeless, but that game looks pretty horrifying these days.
They took a lot of the weird grindy stuff out of the original Pokemon, so now all of your Pokemon get experience when you're in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
The main reason I put it on the list is because I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would.
You thought it would just be an ordinary remake of...
I thought it was just going to be a remake of Pokemon, and then I have enjoyed it way too much. And also, one of my favorite things is that you can have the Pokemon walk around behind you, and if you have a Kingler or a Krabby follow you, they do the crab scuttle behind you,
yeah.
Which is just hilarious.
Are there any other things that make it so much better? Because you mentioned a couple of things, but What blew your mind about the game? The graphics?
It's good graphics. I think it looks really cool. I think the one thing that I was just like lost my mind and realized that I was having so much fun playing this game was when a woman asked me to watch her Snorlax for her, and then you just stand there and stare at the Snorlax, and there's just a bunch of ellipses on the bottom of the screen, and then it just says, you spent a relaxing time with Snorlax, and you both just have this blank expression on your face, and it was really funny to me.
So they added little moments like that weren't in the original game.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I've enjoyed it.
All right. Fair enough.
What is your number 9?
Dragon Age Inquisition.
Well, okay.
Probably not your style of game, but it reminded me a lot of the previous Dragon Age games, at least when I was able to leave the giant, boring open world and actually enjoy the characters. And I started up a romance with my secretary, and that was super fun. And
your secretary?
Yeah. She's my...
Your administrative assistant,
she was my diplomat.
Oh, administrative diplomat.
Yeah, she was trying to negotiate things with other people, and then she got called away. She got summoned to her betrothed marriage, so I challenged her betrothed to a duel. We fought to the death. And that was fun.
Because nothing says I love you like killing your romantic rival.
Yeah. Also, there was the whole thing where the sky was torn open and a couple of demons. There was an actual game in there somewhere, but the characters were fun. I enjoyed the characters, and
it seems to be par for the course for most BioWare games. Is people don't actually care about gameplay; they just care about the characters.
I think that's fair, especially in my experience with Dragon Age, because I don't really care about the gameplay at all, which is why so much of the gameplay annoyed me. But it was a very good trilogy, and I love the fact that most of the characters from the previous games showed up. So
all right then.
Yeah, Dragon Age. Good game.
Solid game.
Very good game.
Good game, not solid game.
If you're willing to put up with some of the bull...
We'll go with a non-Newtonian fluid game.
There's a good game in there.
Solid when you put some pressure on it, but otherwise it's just kind of this weird liquidy substance.
If somebody could mod it to get rid of all of the boring busy work, I'd probably replay that game a lot more.
Oh, there you go.
So, your number 8?
My number 8 is a 2-part, and it's 2 specific memes from 2018.
You put memes on your top.
Memes!
Okay. Did you put 2 of them in your number 8 slot because you didn't want to put the rest of the memes on the list?
Because otherwise my list would be all memes.
Okay.
No, 2 specific memes. Number 1.
Trumpet Boys, my guess. Is that right?
No. No, but Trumpet Boys is pretty good, but there's a limit to how many of those I can watch.
Okay.
Bongo Cat.
Okay.
I think Bongo Cat is hilarious. This is a stupid little cat just hitting bongos. It's way too funny.
Okay, and the other meme?
Bowsat.
Oh man, there was a top 20 video game characters searched for on Pornhub, and Bowsat was number 1.
Oh my god.
It was like 40 million searches.
Oh my god. I remember seeing a thing where someone was like, yeah, my husband works in basically filming porn, and they had to film a Bowsat porn for porn, or for something, and he hated every minute of it. He was just like, this is stupid, why are we doing this?
But yeah, the Pornhub search was like, Bowsat, number 1, 40 million searches, and then it dropped off dramatically.
Just immediately, because Bowsat was only popular for like a week.
I mean, number 1, Bowsat was for 40 million, and the next popular one, the second most popular.
Oh, okay.
It was less than 4 million.
Oh my god.
Less than 10% of what...
It
was huge.
Oh, that is hilarious. Because Bowsat is literally just Princess Peach with a turtle shell on her back.
And horns, yeah, kinda.
And horns.
Yeah. Well, now that everyone's lost respect for us because you put memes on our top 10 list of 2018.
I can remove it. We'll do something else.
It's fine. Let's see, what was my number 8? Oh yeah, Valkyria Chronicles. I had a lot of fun with that game.
Oh man, that game was fun.
I played that game back when it came out like a decade ago, but we got to go through it again. And
all right, we'll replace my number 8 with Valkyria Chronicles.
All right. That could be our shared number 8.
It'll be shared number 8.
Yeah, I look forward to playing the Valkyria Chronicles 4 whenever we get around to it. Because
that does actually look fun, and I've heard that they took a lot of some of the weird mechanics that were in there out.
And they probably did a couple of shifts over the last decade. They probably changed a few things.
Yeah, so we will say that is our shared number 8.
Yeah, okay. I enjoyed watching you foul up the mission a couple times and getting a couple people killed, and
I didn't get anybody killed.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
What about Isara?
She's supposed to die. That's scripted.
What about Nancy?
Nancy didn't deserve that. She deserved better.
It withstood the test of time.
She had a bad sense of direction, and she didn't know if she could find her way to heaven.
I know she has a bad sense.
That makes me really sad.
I know she has a bad sense of direction because she was following you.
Fuck you. All right, what's that was 8. So
Yeah.
7. Destiny 2.
I've heard mixed things about that.
Yeah, a lot of people have said mixed things about it. I've genuinely been enjoying it, and the only reason that I know I've been enjoying it is because I've been playing it for almost the entirety of 2018.
It must be a player versus everyone game and not a PvP game.
Yeah, there's like PvP modes in it, which I don't really do that often. And then
I know, because you hate those.
I'm not really a big fan of PvP modes. Because then people start talking about, the Gravitron Lance is the current meta. And I'm just like, you say the word meta. Say the word meta one more time. I dare you.
I know you.
I dare you.
Why don't they
just make a gun called the meta gun? That it just always changes to be whatever the meta is.
Yeah, you could, I guess.
Anyway, so I've been playing it pretty much like all of 2018, and I'll play other stuff, and then I just suddenly realized that I'm now like 10 minutes deep into a raid, and I don't know how I got there. And I'm like, when did I boot up Destiny 2? How did I start playing this game again? Did they put something addictive in the water that just makes me want to play this game all the time? Oh. Is it just flashing things at the screen like that are embedding themselves in my mind that's like, you must play Destiny 2. You must play Destiny 2. Zavala is a dickhead. And I'm like, yeah, I know he is, but alright, whatever. I'm still gonna play. I've really enjoyed playing it. It's been a really fun game. I thought the Forsaken expansion was really good. I liked what they did with having random stats on weapons so that it gives you kind of an incentive to grind out certain weapons. So you're like, oh, I got this one. It doesn't have the stats that I would want on it, so I'm going to try and get it again. I do wish they would make it a little easier to get specific ones. Like you could try to grind for a specific gun, which I suppose is what the whole Lost Armory expansion is, but I haven't bought that one.
Isn't it weird that you put Pokemon Pikachu Let's Go on your list? Because it removed a bit of the grind, and now you've got this game, which has the grind.
Yes, but in a PvP game, you kind of want to have some kind of grind into it, just so that you can, like... Because otherwise, if it's just... yeah, I guess that is kind of interesting. Never mind, I can't really explain it properly.
Okay.
I'm having problem wording. I've just actually really enjoyed playing it. I think the gunplay is a lot of fun. I think the game looks really good. Anytime I get new weapons, I'm always really excited about that. I feel like Destiny 2 combines all the things I really liked about Borderlands and Diablo and Warframe. So it's just kind of like all these things together where there's just random drops of weapons, and they're really there's like all kinds of different ones that'll just, pop up randomly. But I have actually really enjoyed it, and a lot of people will talk a lot of shit on it, and I realize that Activision is a terrible company, and they don't know what they're doing with this game, but I've still enjoyed it.
Okay, that's fair enough. Maybe one day we'll be able to play it together, if it's that good.
I like playing it. That does not mean that everybody will like playing it.
That's certainly true, yeah.
Yeah.
The number 7 on my list is Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden, which we played a little bit of.
We did play, I watched you play a little bit of.
That's true, yeah. Mutant Year Zero was kind of like XCOM, only it had a duck as a protagonist. The numbers were a bit simpler. I would say it's simpler. It's a simplified version of XCOM, but it's still pretty good. I wouldn't say terribly short game, but it's certainly shorter than a standard XCOM game. And once I figured out some of the mechanics, it was pretty easy, but it was a pretty thoroughly enjoyable experience.
I kind of feel like sometimes the XCOM games go on for too long.
That's true. Sometimes games like that do wear out their welcome, but I kind of felt like Mutant Year Zero could have gone on a little longer. It made me long for a longer version of that game.
See, I just now realized that I said sometimes the XCOM games go on for too long. And that was the biggest complaint about Alien Isolation, is people were like, "Oh, the game lasts too long. I feel like it should have ended way earlier." And I was like, shut the fuck up, you're getting more game. It's amazing.
Now you're understanding why people get sick of things.
Yeah, I guess. My problem is that I just love Alien Isolation so much.
Yeah, that's not going to make your list, though.
It's not going to, because it's not a 2018 game, and I didn't really play it in 2018.
I don't think we did. I think that was last year. But as for Mutant Year Zero, I thought it was a solid experience. It wasn't, I don't think it was a full price game, and it wasn't big like that, but it was I think it might have been one of the first games the company made, and it was a good first step forward.
Yeah, good for, if that was their first game, then that is a good first game.
And that was a lot
it seemed really cool when I played through a little bit of it with you.
Yeah, the voice acting was really good, and there were some really interesting parts. I just wanted more content for it, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with next.
Hooray! My number 6 is the Netflix series The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
I think you showed me a clip or two of that. It did seem like an old Western
Yeah, it's
show.
an old Western themed. Well, it's actually, I'm sorry, it's not a series. It's just a movie. It's a movie that's like 2 hours long, and it's split up into several short stories, and they're all amazing.
You've shown me a couple of them, and I did find them funny, the ones that I've seen, so maybe I'll have to tune into that.
The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, whatever, I'm not gonna watch this. Because I saw like a couple advertisements for it, and I was like, I don't care. It's another Netflix, like, movie. I don't give a shit. Wait, Coen Brothers directed this? Okay, well, now I have to watch it.
What did the Coen brothers do?
The Coen Brothers did The Big Lebowski, they did Fargo, they did No Country for Old Men, which is in the top 3 of my favorite movies of all time.
They're just good writers?
They're amazing writers and directors.
All
And
right.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs is so good. And as an added bonus, it has the guy that played Bill Dauterive as a banker who runs out of a bank screaming pan shot.
Yeah, you showed me that, the pan shot scene.
That's the guy that plays Bill Dauterive.
You have shown me a couple scenes. I will probably have to sit down and watch this in its entirety. It's only 2 hours long, you say, roughly?
Yeah, it's about 2 hours. Yeah.
I'll probably watch it then.
It was really good.
If it's good enough to make your top 10 list, then yeah, I'll actually sit down and watch the whole thing.
The same thing as Let's Go Pikachu. It was way better than I was expecting. That's what I mean. The same thing as Let's Go Pikachu.
Yeah, yes.
Way better than I was expecting. I was expecting just your standard Netflix fare, but it was way good.
All right.
I'm actually kind of bummed that I didn't get to see it in a theater.
Well, at least you can watch it on Netflix.
At least I could watch it on Netflix on a giant ass TV.
Oh, you got a giant 20-foot TV?
I don't know what my roommate does.
Oh, okay.
All right, what is your number 6?
Bojack Horseman, another
No.
Netflix original.
No.
Yeah.
My funny isn't supposed to make me sad.
I've tried to get you into that show a couple times, but I can tell it's not your cup of tea.
I can watch 1, maybe 2 episodes, and then it's just like, I am filled with this existential self-loathing and dread, and I can't do it anymore. I will say, the funeral episode...
The one that I made you watch, yeah.
The funeral episode, the end of that episode absolutely destroyed me.
It was really good, yeah. There are a couple of episodes... They're heavy. That show gets very heavy, but the writing on that is so good. There's always puns in the background. You can go back and check for the puns, but
I'm willing to give that all to you. It's just I have such a hard time watching that show because it makes me so sad.
Yeah. Even the protagonist is a terrible human being.
He's a horse.
Yeah, you're not a terrible horse being. And you're not even sure half the time you're supposed to be rooting for him or rooting for him to go to jail because he's just a terrible person thing. There's also Diane, who's a great character, and Princess Bubblegum, or not Princess Bubblegum.
Princess Bubblegum is Adventure Time.
Yeah, Princess Catherine, who's the cat.
Oh, the cat, yeah.
The 40-year-old woman who's suffering, or the 40-year-old cat who is suffering from things like issues like menopause and infertility.
Oh boy.
It's definitely its own unique brand of comedy.
It is too real.
It can be pretty real, but it's got great writing. I love these serialized shows where the effects of one episode actually affect the subsequent episodes. So, great show. I enjoyed it. My favorite new show of 2018.
The next one I have on the list is another Netflix series.
Wow, we're going through a lot of these, huh?
Yeah, it's called Maniac.
I've never heard of Maniac.
Maniac was a really good series. I think it's only 4 episodes, and each episode is like 45 minutes.
There's only 4. Is it like the first season, or is that just like the
No,
entirety
that's it.
of the
That's
show?
the whole thing.
Okay.
It basically, from what I understand, is they had a very specific idea they wanted to do, and it was just way too long to make it into a movie. So they just split it into like 4 episodes.
Okay, so a show called Maniac that has 4 episodes, totaling about 3 hours.
Yeah, somewhere around that. Yeah.
Want to give us a rough synopsis of what that is?
The rough synopsis is it's primarily about 2 different characters. One of them is addicted to this drug that basically makes you relive the worst experience of your entire life.
Why would he be addicted to that?
She is addicted to it because, I don't know, it's not really a spoiler because it's pretty easy to figure out that's why she's addicted to it. Anyway, the other character is one that has had like a serious mental breakdown and thinks he might be going insane. And the whole thing is them going through this weird drug trial that's supposed to make them basically be cured and not have any mental problems. And all the different drugs do different things to their brain. And it's got a bunch of really cool scenes in it. The whole thing is really well done. And it's like, it's just a really cool series that just kind of makes you think a lot about the stuff that's happening in it.
So it's 3 hours, not a big time commitment, but you say it goes to a lot of different places?
Yeah, it's really cool. I really enjoy it's again one of those things that I was like, whatever, and then I watched it and I really enjoyed it.
I feel like I would have pried more into why you like that show so much, but I feel like the more you talk about it, that you're going to get into some pretty heavily spoiler territory, because I guess...
Kind of, yeah. I really like any kind of psychological movie that deals a lot with like how people's brains works and stuff like that. So it was really interesting to me just to watch that movie and just kind of experience it.
You know, it's kind of like Bojack Horseman in a sense.
Kind of.
Struggling with depression and alcoholism, and both available on Netflix. They should pay us for referring people.
Netflix, we should get Netflix to sponsor us.
Yeah.
We need to get some sponsors. If any of you have any connections in the marketing world, we want sponsors. We will talk about how great your product is. We're selling out.
As long as it's one of the 2 or 3 things that we actually enjoy, not the rest of the crap you put on there.
Oh, yeah.
Crap, we just lost a sponsorship.
Ah, shoot. There it goes.
Number 5, The Long Dark.
Ooh.
That was a game I played. It might have come out last year, but it's still in early access even this year. When you and I went through it, we had a lot of fun, and it's probably... When you hear the term early access survival game, your mind goes, oh!
Another one!
Really? Puke!
The deluge of early access survival games that are available on every platform.
Just sickening. But this game was really good. It's really fun. Mostly we stuck to the survival challenges, but I've done a bit of the story mode, and the story mode's not bad. A great way to ease your way into it. Got some great voice acting. We talked a bit about this. We got Mark Meer and Male Shepherd, Femme Shepherd from Mass Effect.
Yep.
And I got to the point in the story recently where I met the person voiced by David Hayter.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some good voice talent, and the game just looks beautiful, and it can be a lot of fun.
It's got a really cool watercolor or like oil painting look to it.
Difficult to describe how good it looks.
It is a very painted looking environment that you're in, and it's very pretty.
Mm-hmm. And there's not a whole lot of threats, just the occasional wolf coming by, or a bear, or a moose you gotta steer clear of. And it's mainly just exploring areas.
Unless you're me and the wolves hunt you down on a regular basis.
Yeah. There is the issue, I wouldn't say that's the worst part. I think the biggest drag on the game there are a couple of times where it can get kind of tedious, searching every cupboard, which takes some time, or if you get across some terrain, which does take quite a few minutes of just walking from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
But at least you get to enjoy the scenery. It's not a bad game, and it's still not finished. They got the first 2 episodes. They just redid the first 2 episodes to improve them.
I played a very early one, which was basically the alpha, or like right after it went from alpha to beta.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of the joke, is it was just a menu game.
Oh, yeah.
Because the really early ones was a lot of just sorting through menus.
Well, even when you and I started playing through it for the channel, in between episodes, they did an update which revamped the cooking mechanics.
Yep.
And I think it was last week, actually, they revamped it again, and now I'm hardly ever in the menus unless I need to adjust some clothes. If to cook anything, water, cook food, you don't even open the radial menu. You just click on the campfire, and you can...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they keep on improving it.
Yeah, they've done a bunch of improvements then, because in the very early ones, I spent probably a majority of my time in the menu. And the reason I enjoyed playing that game so much is because I was just exploring.
Even though it's in early access, I think it's still worth your time. And
it's definitely worth it. I would pay full price for that game again.
I don't know what full price is, but I enjoyed what I paid for it. So yeah,
I don't remember.
Certainly got my money's worth. I think
it's under $30.
Yeah, it's probably pretty cheap considering it's early access still.
But I genuinely enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. Very good. But it didn't make your top 10 list, sadly.
No, I mean we did play it a lot, but.
Maybe it might have been an honorary mention for you, or maybe it was a game from a previous year because you played it. You played it before I did in 2017, something like that. So maybe that's why it's not on your list this year.
We'll just shoehorn it in on my list. It's not one of the numbers, but it's in there.
Oh, we're gonna push out the Nintendo Switch then. Oh well, good enough. Sorry, Nintendo Switch. Better luck next year.
For God's sake, Mike. All right. Well, my next one is a book.
Really? You're putting a book on our list?
I'm putting a book on our list.
You disgust me.
Welcome to the Zach Hazard Book Club.
Okay, what book are we going to be reading?
The Indifferent Stars Above.
The Indifferent Stars Above. I've never heard that one.
It did not come out this year, but I read it this year.
Mm-hmm.
The Indifferent Stars Above is a book about basically the Oregon Trail and the trail to go to California, and primarily about the Donner Party.
You were mentioning the Oregon Trail. I imagine this game to be a little lighthearted with a bit of seriousness. The Donner Party makes things a little different.
Yeah, it makes things a little different. And anything in the Oregon Trail is far more brutal than I was led to believe in elementary school. And the Donner Party is probably one of the most metal things that has ever happened in history. And they don't talk about any of it.
Is this kind of thing you want to talk about, or is that going to be a spoiler?
It is absolutely... The whole Donner Party thing is absolutely brutal. The Indifferent Stars Above is a book that really gets across how brutal experience with the Donner Party was.
I didn't realize the Donner Party was part of the Oregon Trail.
Well, they had to use the Oregon Trail, and then they had to take a different path. They had to take Reed's Pass to go up over the Sierra Nevada mountains into California, and it went very poorly for them. Allow me to read a short section from The Indifferent Stars Above that just discusses all the different ways that children can die.
Okay.
On the Oregon Trail.
Dysentery, I assume. Perhaps being attacked by wild animals.
Children fell under wagon wheels and were crushed to death or crippled for life. Mm-hmm. They wandered off into the tall grass and were never seen again. Occasionally, they were abducted by Native Americans. Much more frequently, they drowned when swept away by rivers their families were trying to ford. Drowning incidents were so common, in fact, that some mothers wrote their children's names in indelible ink on labels and sewed the labels into their children's clothing. It didn't prevent them from drowning, but sometimes it allowed a grieving mother to identify a body that had been in the water too long.
Oh.
Children were bitten by rattlesnakes, struck by lightning, trampled by unruly oxen or horses, pummeled by hailstones as large as turkey eggs, and shot by the nearly daily accidental discharges of guns that their fathers carried.
So when I'm playing
They died of measles, diphtheria, whooping cough, influenza, tuberculosis, typhoid fever, malaria, infected guts, food poisoning, mumps, and smallpox. Perhaps the only break that mothers on the Platte River had that summer was that it wasn't yet 1849 when Asiatic cholera would kill thousands along the same stretch of trail. The graves in some places averaging 1 every 200 feet.
Why are you recommending this book, though?
It's a really good book. It is. If you are at all interested in any type of history,
if you like child deaths, then by God, this is the book for you.
There was a point in the Donner Party when rescue finally came to them. This woman poked her head out of what was basically a tent that was buried in like 30 feet of snow. Poked her head out and was just completely disheveled and basically a walking skeleton, and just asked them, "Are you angels, or are you from California?" It is absolutely insane.
A book you really enjoyed. Probably your favorite book of the year then, huh?
It is a story of survival and what people will do to survive. And I highly recommend it for anyone who likes reading about history.
All right, I guess next year, I'm going to read a book.
Oh boy, 1 whole book a year. I usually probably read 2 or 3 books a month.
Yeah, you're a real overachiever, aren't you?
I love to read.
Number 4 on my list is the New World Parliament trilogy that we played through for Fallout New Vegas.
Woo!
Boy, that was a lot of fun. And it's pretty telling when that's on my list and Fallout 76 isn't. But hey, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, Fallout 76 isn't on my list either. Weird.
Yeah, that game came out. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a game that came out. I wouldn't even call it a game. That was really more of a crashing simulator.
But I'm not here to talk about the terribleness of that game. I'm here to talk about how much I enjoy the New World Parliament, and it's really telling that people can make fan mods, and it's a really enjoyable time. Even if it's not immersive, even if it's not what people would consider top quality, it can still be amazing. It can still be a huge amount of fun, get a huge amount of laughs out of you.
It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
You see it on the channel. We enjoyed it. We loved it. I hope to see more mods like that in the future, and maybe even make some myself someday. Who knows?
Ooh, setting a high bar for yourself.
It is, considering how much work I'd have to put in to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also telling that people put in a lot of work to do that to begin with. Was that your favorite mod that we played for New Vegas so far at all?
You know what? I think that's probably been some of my favorite ones, though I do love any of the ones by American Weirdo.
That's true. It's not, I think between those two might be the top best mods we've got
anything
so
by
far.
American Weirdo is just absolutely hilarious.
So I'd say so far of the mods we've played, by God, we have not played enough of them considering how many are out there. Bullet and American Weirdo are probably our top 2 favorite modders at this point. Now we're in the top 3. What's your top 3?
Hang on. What did I miss? I missed one somewhere.
Okay, we'll bring it up here then.
Oh, no, because I said one of mine was... I also said that Long Dark. Long Dark replaced one of the
if that's your top 3, then I guess it's my turn to give my top 3, my third top.
Sure, yes.
All right, back to Mike again. Mass Effect 2!
Oh, but why?
Because I got to play it again for the first time through your eyes.
Oh.
I had a lot of fun with that. You didn't so much? You got to romance Tally! You had Garrus doing calibrations! You let everyone survive on the suicide mission!
Yeah, and Garrus and Miranda didn't hook up.
Not for your lack of trying, though.
That was supposed to happen.
Well, I enjoy... Mass Effect 2 might be perhaps one of my favorite games of all time. It's certainly my favorite of the trilogy, so...
I'm glad that you enjoy it because I'm not a huge fan of the Mass Effect games.
That's fine, but I do enjoy that game so much, and once you play through that game yourself once, you can't go back and play through it blind again, so I got to watch it almost completely blind through your eyes, which was so much fun.
I will say it was a lot of fun playing through Alien Isolation and watching you play through it the first time.
Exactly.
Watching you stumble through things, because I think we've established on the channel that I am actually pretty good at puzzle games.
Yeah.
And Alien Isolation is effectively just a puzzle game with sneaking.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
But I really enjoyed watching you play through it, so I see where you're coming from on that.
And I don't think there's any companion in Mass Effect 2 that I dislike at all. All the characters from Mass Effect 2 are amazing, and I love listening to the voice acting all over again.
But what about,
You're gonna bring up Jacob, who's the most
What about Jacob?
Yeah, he's the most free. He is the least likable, yet he's still a bar that everyone passes. It's good to have things to compare it to, because if everyone was amazing, then it would seem like it was nothing. But if you got one ordinary person in there, then everyone seems so much better.
Morden is hilarious.
Exactly, yes.
I love that he sings.
Yeah.
Which that one scene took me so by surprise because I was not expecting a Solarian to start singing, much less I am the very model of a major modern general, only about Solarians. Completely caught me off guard.
Yeah. Well, people have been asking us for more Mass Effect 3, and that'll probably happen sometime this year.
Is this video coming out 2019?
In 2019, probably sometime.
Okay, then yes, it will probably happen this year.
And you might hear him sing again, you don't know.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I cannot wait for some of the games that are coming out in 2019.
What are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to Untitled Goose Game.
And Resident Evil 2 Remake?
Resident Evil 2 Remake. Oh!
Yeah?
Oh, I can't wait.
Anything else? Just those two?
I think Death Stranding is supposed to come out 2019.
Oh, maybe,
which
yeah.
Hopefully will be amazing. Oh, it has to be good. It's gonna be good. Every single one of Hideo Kojima's games is good.
Probably, yeah. Well, then what's your top 2 now?
Top 2! The game Inside, from the people who made the game Limbo.
Is it like Limbo, but instead of walking around scenery, you're inside of a monster?
No, it's kind of like the game Limbo in that you run around.
Go from left to right?
Pretty much. And it is a puzzle game, but oh man, that game was some kind of weird, like, body horror shit. Oh, I loved it!
I can see why that would appeal to you then.
It was just spoilers.
Are you going to spoil the end of the game?
I'm not going to spoil the end of the game, but spoilers, the end of the game goes into some weird body horror shit.
Alright.
Most of the game is just tense and
difficult,
terrifying at points. It was so good.
Okay.
I absolutely loved it. I think we should play that.
Okay, I've never even heard of it, so yeah, I'll definitely, we could probably take a look at that, sure.
We should definitely play it. I don't know if you want to play it or you just want to watch me play through it, then you yell at me.
We can decide on that later,
but
but
do either one. But it was a really good game.
If you think it's good enough, then yeah, I'll probably play it. If not on the channel, then in my free time.
I really enjoyed it.
Alright, cool. And now for my top 2, Shadow of War.
Ooh.
The sequel to Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
Which, when it came out, Shadow of War was heavily maligned for having microtransactions crammed into it, which decreased the value of all the orcs. And now that that's been redone, and all that's gone, and they rebalanced the game, it's a super fun game. It's definitely a worthy successor to the original game.
And all the orcs are librarians.
No, not some of the orcs are not librarians. Some of them
they're all librarians.
Some of them are bartenders.
You've been going around and killing librarians.
Zach likes to impersonate the orcs and give them funny voices, which is kind of redundant because some of the orcs already have funny voices.
They already do have funny voices.
I think there are so many good things I could say about that game. It's a huge amount of orcs, a huge game world, a lot of different mechanics. They improved on the mechanics in the first one, and it was just, I've spent 40 or 50 hours in that game having fun, and it seems like a rare occurrence these days where I can enjoy a single player game for that long and still have a big amount of fun with it.
Because a long time ago, having a good game meant having a game that was like 40 or 50 hours long, and in Final Fantasy, you would get that by just having you go backtrack and do things over again.
I'm sure there's a point you're trying to make in there, sure, trying to malign something.
Yeah, I hate Final Fantasy, that's the point I'm trying to make.
That's always got to come up, I see.
Yeah.
Well, I'm enjoying Shadow of War. I thought it was a great game. A couple of small things held it back, like some... It feels like the boss fights in that game and its predecessor were always terrible. There's always something holding it back. And also, there's not enough names in that game. Because if I have so many if I find another push crimp in that game, I might lose my mind. Not everybody needs to be named Push Crimp, but it's a great improvement of the first game. And based on the events that happened in this game, there's not going to be a third game. So it was just a great game.
All right.
Now, what is your best thing of 2018, the year we're in right now?
My best thing of 2018 is my girlfriend.
Did you legitimately put your girlfriend on the
Yes,
list?
I did.
Come
I actually
on.
put my girlfriend on this. Because that's probably that is the best thing that's happened to me this year.
I was thinking about this. Is that going to be sappy enough to put his girlfriend on his top 10 list?
Yes!
And if he is he going to be stupid enough to put her at like number 4 and then it gets beaten out by Hey You Pikachu?
Oh, man.
And then you never hear the end
No,
of it.
it wasn't Hey You, Pikachu.
Whatever it is.
Yes, my girlfriend is like the best thing to happen to me this year.
That's not a form of media. I could enjoy the TV shows and video games you recommended.
What is wrong with you? This is the best thing for me this year, not for you.
Fine. I thought this was gonna like a recommendation list. Hey everybody, play this game, watch this movie, and also date my girlfriend.
No, she's mine. No sharing.
Yes, I have met her. She's a great person, and I'm glad she's had such a positive influence on your life.
Okay, fine. Then you want me to pick something else for my number one?
No! If that's your number one, then that's your number one. But is she going to be your number one on every list from here on out? Because it kind of gets redundant after that.
It does get redundant. It loses value.
Yeah.
It means at that point, it's like it just devalues it. It's
Ouch.
like a peso.
You hear that, girlfriend? You get less valuable over time.
Oh, that's not what I meant. I meant that saying it gets devalued.
I'm just making fun of you. I'm glad you're having fun. I do feel like you've had a less depressing and dour mood most of the times I've seen you this year, so
yes.
I think she's had a positive influence on you. Hooray.
Hooray!
And also, she's kind of fun.
Yes.
Well, my number one is not a girlfriend, because I don't have a girlfriend.
Haha, he's single, ladies. Stalk him on the internet.
Please don't!
Please do.
It's Overwatch.
It's Overwatch.
I've been playing that game too much.
Oh man, yeah, you and Overwatch is basically me and Destiny.
Yeah, I just get tired of getting out of work after a long day. I'm like, whatever, I'll just play Overwatch for an hour or two. And then I have to go to bed because it's been 8 hours.
It's because, and this applies to Destiny too, I don't really have to think. Same thing with Overwatch. You don't really have to think. You just sit down, you play it for a while,
Yeah, I guess there are some different ways you could play Overwatch, and some people want to think a bit more, but most of the time I just plop down in quick play, I shoot at guys, get killed by guys, respawn, yell at my monitor about how stupid my teammates are, yell at my monitor how stupid I am, and then that's a fun evening for me.
Yep, there we go. That's it. It is a fun game to relax to.
And they came out with new heroes this year, Brigitte.
Yeah, I will say that the last time I played Overwatch when I was doing the 8-person deathmatch.
Yeah.
Anytime I would be like, all right, I got my ult. I'm ready to attack. La teammate! Oh god, I'm running away. I'm leaving now.
But they also released Hammond, which is a really fun dive tank that I'm terrible at.
And he's very easy to hit.
He's also very difficult to control most of the time.
Yeah. They just came out with Ashe.
Yeah, and Ashe, another character I'll never be able to play because she's a damage character and all the damage slots are always taken.
Yeah, they just get picked immediately.
Every team needs supports and tanks. They never need damage. But yeah, she's kind of cool. They actually had a animated short with McCree, which is fun. They came out with that. And I will probably keep playing that game because I find it a lot of fun.
I will probably keep playing Destiny too.
Yeah, you probably won't play Overwatch anymore because it makes you very angry.
I don't know why that game... I think we discussed this before and I actually nailed down why that game makes me so angry.
It's PvP mostly, yeah.
Because, well, one, it's PvP mostly, and two, because I just have this thing in my head that's like, I'm supposed to be having... It's a video game. I'm supposed to be having fun. I'm not supposed to be stressed out. And...
I just died. Now I'm stressed out.
I just died. Now I'm mad. I'm very mad.
And you would think it wouldn't make you mad because dying is a very normal thing in that game. Happens every game to everybody, but every time it happens, it makes you mad.
Yeah, I don't know. And yet, I still enjoy playing Dark Souls and Bloodborne.
It's very strange.
Which is weird, because that's pretty much all you do in those games, is
Just
die.
It's Death Simulator, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of Overwatch content, there are rumors of things coming down the line, and if they ever do a PvE kind of expansion of the game...
Oh, that'd be amazing, and then I would play it all the time.
I know, if they did more of the Junkenstein things, which you and I had a lot of fun with.
I genuinely enjoy playing those.
The archives,
you know.
Maybe it'll be a thing you could play someday, but until then, I guess Overwatch is one of the things you have to play only very occasionally, because it's very difficult for you to put up with it.
Yeah, I can't play it for extended periods of time.
But I love it. I love the character designs of pretty much everybody.
I think the character designs are amazing. They're all super cool.
The voice acting is great. The new character, voiced by, Jennifer Hale is her name?
Oh, is it Jennifer Hale?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was Jennifer Hale.
Yeah.
Dang.
They got the Ash voiced by her.
That's the same person that played Naomi in Metal Gear Solid.
And the same person that plays Astrid in The Long Dark.
The same person that plays that, and the same person that plays Femshep.
Exactly. So she gets everywhere because she's a great voice actor.
She is.
If she's in a game, you could probably tell the game is probably going to be high quality.
Yep. Or they had a lot of money.
That could be it too. But that was my top 10 list and also your top 10 list.
Hooray! What are the top 3 things that pissed you off this year?
Oh, you're blindsiding me with this. I didn't have anything prepared, but I'm sure you'll find something. Politics, religion.
Anything in politics.
You could probably fill up your top 20, 50 list of things you hate
easily.
in politics.
Anything. That's just why I'm saying anything with politics.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you about how Blizzard absolutely ruined Diablo.
Oh, you mean Diablo Immortals?
Oh, God. Why? What was the point? The only thing I've been asking for this entire time, just put these things into Diablo 3, and then what do? Oh no, we made a mobile game. What, don't you have phones?
That doesn't diminish the quality of Diablo 3, does it?
They're not putting the improvements into Diablo 3!
Okay.
Fix Diablo 3! Make Diablo 3 better!
Unlike The Walking Dead, where developers Telltale Games have closed down.
Yeah,
which I guess top 3 things I hated this year is Telltale, who made some games I really did enjoy, and a lot of games I kind of ignored because they were kind of crap.
Telltale Games makes a business decision. Everyone hated that.
Yeah. Wasn't a very good business decision.
Oh wait, sorry, that's a Fallout thing. Fallout 76, there's another thing I hated this year.
I didn't hate it, but I don't think we got...
I hated the decisions they made. Fallout 76 was fun for what it was worth, but they made a lot of really bad decisions.
Yeah, I think if you and I played through that game, we could have some fun with it. We just haven't had enough time to do that yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could have been a lot better.
And also the fact that for about the first 3 weeks, anytime you tried to play it, it was broken.
Yeah, it's definitely got room to improve.
Yeah, it's got a lot of room to improve. I hope they actually fix a lot of stuff in that game, but it's like they've been making bad decision after bad decision after bad decision, and you keep thinking they'll get better. They'll get better. They can't possibly make another bad decision. And they just did. Wow. You're really just going for it. But yeah, just shove that whole pencil right up your nose.
Fallout 76 could have been a lot of different games, but it turned out to be an amalgamation of a lot of terrible ones.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a disappointment too.
That was one of my biggest disappointments of 2018.
So that's 2. Blizzard's Diablo Immortals.
And then anything in politics.
And politics takes up slots.
There you go. There's my 3.
3 through 100. Got it.
Thanks for listening. You're all great people. That was my number 1 for this year as all our fans.